Welcome back to a new video, and I hope everyone had a good Christmas. This was the workout I did the day after Christmas, so I had plenty of food, plenty of sleep, and had a really good training environment. It's always nice to get up to Rubber City Weightlifting, just because it's just a weightlifting gym, and I don't get to train at one very frequently. But I had a very productive session. So I started out with some snatch waves, where I was doing snatch doubles, and this workout I was able to work up to 120 on the first set for a double, and then wave back down. I was able to get back up to 120, but I only did it for a single, and then wave back down to 90 and was able to do 4 powers and a full. At the first part of the video, you'll see it starts with the 110, and that's just because some people are doing lunges and stuff kind of like directly in front, not like while lifting or anything like that, but I didn't want to put the camera out initially for like 70 kilos and stuff because they were kind of using that area, so I just kind of waited until I was up to 110, a weight that is more impressive, I think, than doing 70 kilos or 90 kilos. But I did the normal jumps of 70 to 90 to 100 and then that 110. So obviously wouldn't have jumped directly to 110. I would have been absolutely smashed by that weight if I tried to do that. But the 110 felt real easy, and then the 120 felt surprisingly pretty good. So then I waved back up. I think I could have took a crack at the second 120, but it's kind of the mindset I'm trying to have in my current training, is that if it feels kind of hard, it's better just to stop and then wave back down and then maybe try again, or at least get more productive work in. Because when things start to feel extremely hard, that's when extreme press outs and stuff start to happen. I did kind of press out on that 120, I think on the second rep a little bit, but it wasn't anything that was too horrendous, and it was also pretty heavy double for me. I don't know what my best double is. I want to say it was like a slow like cluster double with 125, but to do like a pretty quick double like that with not a lot of rest between, definitely good to be able to get that with 120. And generally, like, I just like how my movement's looking right now. I think everything's looking pretty crispy, so hopefully I can keep that trajectory going up. It'll be a little bit tricky with Florida, but I'll try to continue just to move things in the right direction. And the other thing that's kind of nice to these sessions is I don't set extremely high expectations. I said I want to do 90, I want to do 100, and then anything more than that's a bonus. So I remember kind of doing the same kind of conceptual thing in the spring, where I would just do very similar workouts frequently, but the intensity of those workouts would be kind of determined by how things are moving and how I felt, and if I could push up. And I remember doing a lot of power snatch plus snatch, and I'm changing that this time to just be like full snatches, because I think just working on catching it strong in the bottom is just a more imperative thing for me to do than trying to do tons and tons of powers. Plus I'm able to load a bit heavier, obviously, if you're going all the way under, and then kind of maybe using the powers how I did today, just for some extra volume after the main stuff. But I was really happy with how everything was feeling, and just be able to kind of be productive, because even if I didn't attempt 120 today, I was feeling really confident to do 100, to do 110, and it was just like, it felt easier than the previous time, which is odd, especially after driving for 4 hours to Christmas Day to get back home. But I did relax and eat a lot, so I think that mitigated a lot of the issues of the long drive. Thankfully this time I didn't strain my back or anything. But so snatches went really well, and then with the clean jerks, I wanted to do 1+2s today. So the first I guess set of the wave was 120. I went 120, 130, 140. On the 140 I missed the second jerk, so hopefully I'll be able to get that next time. But it's always kind of, I've done it before. I think I've done as much as like 145 or maybe even 150. Not sure. I would like to get to 150 and be able to do that consistently in 1+2, because that would definitely be a good indicator that my jerk is moving in the right direction. But the second jerk with 140, I just pushed it a bit forward, and it was pretty close, but I was pretty confident, or I am currently pretty confident that I'll be able to get it the next time that I try to do it. After that 140 attempt, I waved back down to 120, and for whatever reason I decided I'm just going to do power clean plus jerk. So I powered 120, and it was a really easy power, surprisingly, and did an easy jerk there, went up to 130 and powered that as well. And when I powered 130, I was like, I think I could probably do 140 today, which is usually surprising, because usually 130 is like a pretty maximal power, but 130 was easy, and then 140 was about where I could have my best power clean that particular day. Kind of pushed me down to parallel, or a little bit below parallel, but I consider it a power because I wasn't varying it as low as I normally go on my full cleans, and actually did a good jerk. I remember the last time I did it was like a week or two ago, a 140 power clean and jerk. My jerk was really difficult, but this one felt pretty easy, so I was really happy with how clean jerks went. Even though I had that 140, the second jerk had that miss, I was still happy with just how generally they're moving. I wasn't thinking that clean jerks would really feel that good, but they were moving pretty well. After that, I did a really weird squat workout, kind of similar in weirdness the previous workout, but I did some front squats. So I went 70, 120, and 170, and just took those big jumps and singles, and then did a drop set at 120 of a pause front squat, and then started at 120 with back squats, and did pauses at 120, 170, 190, and the 190 was surprisingly good. So I was really happy to be able to pause that, especially all the work I did previous to that. So I think that's a good indicator my legs are still moving in the right direction. I then had a interesting stuff that I did for overhead work after. So I did some regular overhead press with 70 and 80, triple with 70, and then I think a double with 80. But then after that, I was like, I want to do more volume, but I was like, I just don't have a lot to press. My shoulders are weak, so it's hard to get a lot of pressing volume in with heavy loads. So I decided to do negatives with after push presses. So I push pressed 80, 90, and 100, and would do negatives at the bottom of those. And 100 kilos felt pretty difficult with that, so it'll give me a good way to progress from there. And it'll just hopefully just add stability to the shoulder, but also just get more volume in. Because obviously with the push press, you're not only using your shoulders, you're getting your legs into it, and the negatives will be good to kind of just break down more muscle up there, but just continue to move things in the right direction, at least upper body wise. So I think that will be a really good movement, probably only from the front. I don't imagine I'll try to do like snatch grip push press with a slow negative, because I feel like that would just tear up my wrist and shoulders a little bit too much. But that actually felt like I was really productive work, and it wasn't like hurting to do it or anything like weird like that, but it felt like almost like you're doing like a slow bench press, and something that I feel like I've done it before, but not in a while, so something I definitely want to keep adding in. But really productive session. I was really happy with how everything went. This next couple days should be normal training until the 29th, and then I'll be flying to Florida, and we'll still be able to train. I just don't know what my training sessions look like, because I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to be lifting at. I still have to kind of solidify that, but I will hopefully have some good sessions when I'm down there, at least ones where I'm not getting any weaker. I'm not going to be there too long, so it won't be a big deal either way, but we'll hopefully find a good place and just be able to hammer some good volume sessions. But yeah, that's really it for this one. I hope you all had a good Christmas, and well, I'll make some more videos before New Year's, so I won't wish anyone a happy New Year quite yet, but I'll talk to you all in the next video. Hope you have a great day. Peace.